Hello guys, it's Craig from Fix It Fellows and I am in the garage. It is the new year 2024 and this is my first video of the year. What am I doing? Bit of tidying up really. So let's have a look what I'm up to. So you will have seen this 3D printer down here in other videos. It kind of lives down here between these bikes and it's very close to my grind wheel here, and when I'm grinding anything, can I ever be bothered to move that out of the way? No, so it's getting peppered in rubbish. It needs to go somewhere. So as you can see in my garage, wall space is getting to be a bit of a premium. Yeah, that's even above the door, above the fridge freezer. My road bike's there. Hang about. I've got some space here. So I'm thinking build a shelf up there for the 3D printer to live on whilst it's not being used. Now what can I do? Well, I've got all of this timber here, all this battening, because I had to mend some fences the other day in the garden. It was very windy, so been mending fences again. You've seen a video I've got already where I show you how to repair fences by reframing them. Well, these bits of timber here are the offcuts from doing my last bit of fencing work. And then I also have this little bit of board that's left over from when I had to, at the 11th hour, create an extension for the Christmas table because it turned out we was having 12 for dinner. So I'm thinking board for shelf, battening to make the shelf supports, get that up out of the way. Okay, so as it stands, the 3D printer sits on that bit of board very well. Yeah, I could probably trim it down to make it a little bit of a neater size, but up there it's out of the way. I'm just going to leave that board as it is. So now I've got to think, how can I fix that board to that wall to hold this not inconsiderable weight? Time to make some supports. Right, okay, so this is the basic setup I'm looking for. So here's the board. This is effectively the underside of the shelf. This edge here will be along the wall. So there will be, this is 44 centimeters, 440 mil. So I'll put a baton along here, cut off to 44 centimeters. There will be a baton down here that will attach to the wall. That will affix it to the wall. And then roughly, what is that, 3/4 of the way along here I shall put this strut across and down to this batten, and that will also, that works out 33 centimeters to there, and it will connect to 33 centimeters to there. So the load will get transferred down through here and into this batten. I'll notch out this batten here so that this end can sit flush in there. Transfer the weight, that will attach directly to the side there. So a screw in there, notch out that so that slots in there, and a retaining screw through there, and then this can be bolted through to the wall. So that's the plan. Just got to cut off that bit, trim a little bit there, trim a little bit there, cut that off, create two of them, fit it to the wall. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to create a right angle triangle in here. That angle there has got to be 90 degrees because I want my shelf to be nice and level and flat. So I've used my set square here to ensure that's 90 degrees. Now I want these two angles to be equal. So we know a triangle, its internal angles add up to 180 degrees. If that one's 90, that leaves 90 to be split equally between these two corners. So 90 divided by 2 is 45 degrees. So we just need to ensure that these two angles are 45 degrees. Now I did it using my little angle gauge here, which I picked up off AliExpress for about £1. Okay, so I've set it to 45 degrees and I've offered it in there, and there you go, 45 there and 45 there. Okay, and then just to double check that that was accurate, what I also did is I knew that I wanted the mounting points to be 33 centimeters on this one and 33 centimeters on that one. So I made a mark directly in the middle of the width there at 33, and likewise over here. And then using my set square here, this can also tell me not only 45 degrees, but it can also tell me, it can tell me 90 degrees using this angle here, but it can also tell me 45 degrees using this line. So I offered up the set square to the baton up to where I'd made the mark of 33 centimeters and drew a line across, and done the same on there. Okay, so that line and that line there run across directly like so, nice and straight, and that creates a 45 degree angle inside there. But I want the actual timber baton to be centrally located over these marks here and here. So I know that this bit of timber is 38mm wide, so half of it is 19mm. So I just measured across 19mm from this point, made a mark on there, and then using this again, struck a line using my set square, done the same there. So now I can offer this on knowing that the outside edge of this batten should run parallel with these two secondary marks, like so, like that. So now I know that when I make fixings through here and here, they will be directly at the 33 centimetre point as I'd wanted, and I know that that's 90 degrees and these two are 45 degrees. Right, so all that's left to be done is to measure how long I need this bit of wood to be. By offering it on like this, we can just make the marks now. So I can just strike a line across there, so I can trim that off there. Okay, that bit can go. And then over here, I want to notch out this wall baton to receive this. So if I make a mark where the two batons meet, which is, let's just say there, using my set square, I draw across a straight line like so. Okay, that's how long this batten needs to be. So this bit can go. I then use my pen and mark out on the wall baton the outline of my what the notch needs to be, and I make a little mark on it there. Okay, now I take that away and I draw a line across. It should be 45 degrees as that all is, like that. Okay, so that bit is going to get notched out, that's going to go. Okay, and then I can trim this bit of batten in any length down here that I care to have. So I might as well go, what, 2 centimeters beyond the notch to there. Draw that across. Okay, so this bit of timber is going to go, that's going to get notched out. Now we know all our lengths, so I can get cutting. Okay, so here we are. This is my these are my 3 pieces cut down to size. This baton here is just there as support to lift this up, so it all marries up. That won't be there in a minute once I screw it all together. So just to confirm, there we have 90 degrees in there, and we have our 45 degrees in those corners there. So I'm just going to mark around there so I know where it goes. Same on there. Okay, all that's left to be done is put a screw through here into there. Okay, so the screw will want to go in, bite into there about there, so it's going to come through there. I'll probably rebate this a little bit so the screw can go through there. That will keep that together. Couple of screws in there, couple of screws in there, and that is one of my supports made. It's just a case of then duplicating it to make the other side for the shelf. Okay, so this is the screw that I'm going to use to secure this joint here. Effectively, I want the screw to be approximately like that, so that about 2.5 centimeters of the thread bites into this bit. So that means I want to drill a 3mm hole right the way through the centre of this batten to take the threaded section, but I also need to drill about an 8mm hole down to about this height so that the head here can recess into the batten. So initially it'll be a 3mm hole all the way through, and then an 8mm hole down to that depth. That's good. Let's do that. Okay, so I've got my bit of batten clamped onto the drill bed there. Drill is lined up. I'm actually going with a 3.5mm drill bit because that's a 3.2mm screw. So let's drill through this. I've actually gone for a 9mm drill bit, and that will allow the head to get down in there, and I've also set the drill drop depth to only drill down as far as I want it to go. Okay, so now you can see that screw will pass through into there. I'm going to put a little pilot hole in this bit of timber. So a pilot hole is a hole smaller than the actual diameter of the screw, leaving enough material there for the screw to bite into, but will relieve the strain on the timber and save it from splitting. So I'll do that in a second. First of all, I'm just going to drill a hole through here and here to enable me to put in these screws through there to secure this batten to that and that to that. So again, using the 3.5mm, I'm just going to drill down through there and there. So I've just repositioned my wood. I could do it up on the pillar drill, but it's no great need. But I want to drill right the way through there. I don't want to drill down through into that. So I'm overhanging it a bit there. So let's line that up there. Drill down through. There's that hole done. And this hole here. Okay. So let's reconfigure that all back. So that went there, didn't it? That bit went across like so, and that bit on there. Get it all lined up. Make sure my angles are good. Okay, it's looking okay. Yeah. Okay, so before I put the screw in there, I'm just going to take this 2mm bit and drill down through as a pilot hole, and also on this one. Okay, so then the batten that we're screwing into doesn't get stressed out. So let's screw that down into there. Okay, fit nicely. I use these screws for a lot of things. They're actually drywall screws with a coarse thread. Okay, now we'll put this one in. Okay, I'm just going to screw that in ever so slightly, just so the screw makes an impression on the timber, and then I can take it back out and do the pilot hole. Hopefully I'll be able to see it. So that should just pivot enough. Yeah. Okay, I can now see the impression of the screw, and I can put a pilot hole into there parallel with that line that I drew there. Okay, we can now put that back down there, offer in that screw. And there we are. There is our first of two gallows brackets for our shelf. Okay, there we go. There's two gallows brackets completed. I've actually made them kind of opposite one another, yeah, because the overlap, you see the kind of strut there is on the inside of this one and on the inside of that one, so that they're symmetrical. Okay, so I can either have the strut inboard or swap them over and have the strut outboard. Doesn't really make any difference, it's just a visual thing. So now I just got to get them up on the wall. Okay, so I've got the board on the floor, it's effectively upside down, and the bracket one will go here like so, and one will go over there. I'm just lining it up on there where I want it to be positioned, and then I shall draw a line along there, a little bit there, and then I'll know where to drill holes through the board in order to screw into this batten. Right, okay, I'm now going to drill 3 holes, 1, 2 and 3 through here, just so to put some screws through to secure the board to the bracket. So the same here and the same there. They're kind of just, that one's in the middle, that one's 3 centimeters in. Doesn't really matter, it's just to secure the board onto there to stop it sliding off. Okay, so there are the supports and the shelf mounted together, so that's the effect we get. You may notice that I've added these blocks here. These are actually going to be the bits that I actually secure this whole thing to the wall with. So they are screwed in through the side there, and then the screw for mounting to the wall will only have to pass through that depth of wood as opposed to all of that depth of wood. And also access to these screws and drilling is easier on that than it is through into there, as this strut kind of impedes access. And also these lend themselves actually to fitting another smaller shelf across there, with that as being the back support, and I can just add a support there, and I can have a secondary shelf in there for smaller stuff to go in there. So all that's left to be done is to drill some holes through these bits, so high up on there, one in there in the middle, and then put the appropriate holes and raw plugs into the wall. That's a solid brick wall, so it'll be a masonry drill bit through in there with a raw plug and the screw to go in there. Obviously whatever wall you're using, use the appropriate fixing. And I may look to see what sort of board I've got that I can fit in there as a secondary shelf. Right, okay, I did have some more MDF laying around. It's a little bit thinner. It was one length, so I've just cut it like this. I've just temporarily attached a couple of batons in there. There are the shelf supports, and then this slides in there like that, and there you see I've got another shelf. So I just got to screw these into place. So I'll screw in from the side here and one further down, and I've got myself another shelf. Okay, so there we go. It's all together. I've drilled holes through the back brackets. The lower shelf is all screwed on. Now it's just time to put it up there. Well, so there we are. Our new shelf is up on the wall. The 3D printer is up there. Got a secondary little shelf. I'll just put them up there just for effect at the moment. It can actually take quite a bit of stuff up there. I have opted to put a bit of bracing just underneath there because this was quite a thin bit of board. As I said, I'm just using scraps that I'd laying around. So there you go, that's all up there. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Well, thank you for tuning in and watching once again. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers, bye bye.